Good evening, and welcome to a new game on my channel, the Yawhg, or however you say it. This is a game that I really enjoy. It gets repetitive quite quickly though. I don't think there'll ever be another one. I wish there would be, and I think a lot of people do, because this is an amazing game. And I really like the music. So let's get into it. This is more of a story-based one, so if you don't enjoy that sort of thing, well, piss off. I'm not bothered. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. Where should we go first with this lovely lady? Well, let's go to the tavern. No, that's overdone. Speed's go. We'll bartend. You spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn 1 wealth in tips and gain 2 charm. One day, a fortune teller sets up at one of the tavern's tables. Table. She offers to read anybody's fortune for a small sum. Why not? You spend 1 wealth. The fortune teller takes your hand and begins showering you with promises of love and wealth. She doesn't really go into any detail, and the whole time you can't help but feel that this is all an act. Underwhelmed and slightly poorer, you can't help but feel like you've wasted your money. That night, while walking home, the fortune teller runs up to you and gives you a kiss on the cheek. "There's the love part," she says with a toothless smile. Then she hands you a giant sack of gold. "There's the wealth," she says. You gain 2 wealth. "Still think I'm a hack?" Yes. Where should we go? I want to go to the palace and go to the fucking ball. You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day, the king approaches you. "Excuse me, but you look like someone who I can confide in. I really want a prince to take over the throne, but the queen and I, well, aren't exactly active in the bedroom." He blushes a little. "Do you have any advice on how I could, romance the queen, how to speak?" Teach the king your ways. You spend hours drawing a bunch of diagrams and going through scenarios with the king. By the end of it, he's just as charming as you are. He thanks you and hands you a large sack of coins as a reward. You gain 3 wealth. Later that night, you get the sinking feeling you might have actually made things worse. They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart, but that was so very long ago. Where should we go? Let's go to the forest and hunt. You spend the week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finance and sell the pelts for 1 wealth. Oh god. One day you hear hundreds of footsteps rundling through the forest in your direction. It's an orc raiding party. What do? Charm them into not killing you. Let's go. The orcs listen to nothing you say and capture you. Oh damn it. In your holding cell you contemplate the weight of your own mortality. You lose 1 mind. The next morning the orcs are all gone and your cell is unlocked. What happened? Let's go. I'm going to avoid the palace in case the king wants my head. Let's meditate. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain more magic and 2 mind. One day a beggar comes up to you asking for any spare change. "Yeah, here old man, have a coin." You toss him a stack of coins. You lose 1 wealth. He thanks you and walks away. The next night you recognise him on a bench. You spot him eating what looks like a fresh roasted chicken. He sees you and smiles a toothless grin. You feel good about yourself. You gain 1 physique, 1 finesse, 1 mind, 1 charm, 1 magic. It was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook. The air went still. Let's go to the slums, and fight crime. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night you hear cheering coming from an alleyway. Peering in, you see a crowd of men cheering on dogs violently ripping each other apart. Charming. One of the men spots you and asks,
"Oi, would you like to participate in our little betting game?"
No, fuck that. You try to convince the gamblers that dogfighting is wrong. Your words fall on deaf ears. You quit very quickly they get angry with you. One walks up to you and pulls out a knife. You don't feel like you've got the strength or speed to match this guy. You run away hoping he won't follow. We fucked up. Let's brew a potion. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day you hear cries for help coming from the next room. Running over to investigate, you see that the alchemists there have accidentally created an ooze monster. How do you dispatch the ooze? Punch the ooze in submission? Nah, we'll use our magic. Bust it with magic. It was a fireball. You pulverize the ooze into a puddle with an array of magical spells. The alchemists all cheer. Hooray! You gain 1 charm. And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos, screaming, the sound of all we knew being pulled in half. Sorry, I got distracted again. Let's go back to the forest. Let's chop wood. You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 thinique and earn yourself 1 whelp. One day you come across a group of people in the woods. From the expressions on their faces, they appear to be lost. Rob them or help them. I'll help them. You confront the group and try to help them find their way back to town. You can't seem to figure out where you are, and lead the group in circles for hours. Oh, that sounds like me. Don't ever ask me for directions. One of asks how you managed to find your way home at night. You don't actually know. I'll help out the hospital. 10 patients. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and 1 wealth. One day you hear spooky sounds echoing through the corridors. Soon afterwards, a glowing blue ghost floats down from the ceiling. She seems to be wandering the halls aimlessly, howling out horrible noises. She doesn't appear to realise that she is freaking everyone out. You decide to do something about it. Talk calmly to the ghost. You approach the spirit and try to explain to her the effect she's having on the sick. She seems to understand what you're telling her and apologises for bothering everyone. Sorry. She walks through a wall and is never seen again. A doctor tosses you a sack of coins as a way of saying thanks. You gain 2 wealth. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Forest, arena, alchemy tower gardens. Let's go to the palace. 4. You spend the week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. One day the court jester approaches you. Would you like to juggle? He asks excitedly. I'll teach you everything I know for a small sum. Sure. You spend the day with the jester practicing your juggling technique. You improve dramatically. You gain 2 finesse. You gain another 2 finesse. You happily pay the jester for his services. You lose 1 wealth. I want to fight crime like she did. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night, a small child approaches you with his hand cupped and outstretched towards you. He doesn't say anything, but just looks up at you with wide eyes, waiting expectantly. Sure, have a coin. You toss him a sack of coins. You lose 1 wealth. He thanks you and walks away. The next night, you recognise him on the street. You spot him eating what looks like a fresh loaf of bread. He sees you and smiles. You feel good about yourself. You gain 1 physique, you gain 1 finesse, you gain 1 mind, charm, magic, stuff. The Yawhg is almost here. almost.
Ooh, it's getting spooky.
Garden landscape. You spend the week maintaining a plant in a royal garden. You gain 1 finesse, 1 physique, and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day, a toothless old woman approaches you. I have a small pouch of magic beans. Would you be interested in purchasing some? Oh, damn, that would have been good earlier. Of course I would. No, thanks. She walks away disappointed. There's no such things as magic beans, you mutter to yourself. You gain 1 mind. Tavern. Let's just drink. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day, while in the tavern, a heated argument erupts between 2 patrons. Soon enough, fists are flying, and everybody seems to be joining in on the violence. Break the fight. Break it up. You jump on top of a table and yell a plea to the patrons to stop all the violence. Before you know it, everyone has calmed down and chatting to one another like nothing ever happened. Thanks for that, says the bartender, while slipping you a small sack of coins. You gain 1 wealth. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning it still rages. For 3 full days, the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us. But then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our home. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving? Let's see. Alright, so now I pick a role depending on what I built up in terms of stats. I can't see my physique though with this character because that thing is in the way. I should have been paying attention to that. Let's go with the builder. Maybe? Thunderer, Doctor, Builder, Tailor. Apparently I'm gonna be a tailor. You volunteer to weave and mend clothes for the survivors to keep warm. You make and mend clothing faster than anyone would have ever expected. Every survivor now has an excess of warm scarves, socks and hats to keep warm. This helps the survival effort immensely. Right, this guy, definitely the leader. You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. You expertly delegate and prioritize tasks. You give motivating speeches and act as an effective mediator in disputes. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. And so, we set about our tasks, once more living our lives, this time in a way we might never have expected, or even wanted, but in the end, we flourished. Towers once wrecked and ravished rose towards the sky. Trees again took root, then blossomed. We all blossomed. And though it took a long while, and though it took a lot from us, our future is bright. Should the Yawhg ever return, we will be ready. Yeah, we did good. I really love this song. With the town rebuilt, you decide to celebrate. You organise a huge festival in honour of the bravery that helped save so many lives. The first one is so successful, you decide to make it an annual tradition. Every year the festival gets bigger and more elaborate, and every year it costs more and more money to put on. You have to start charging admission, and no one is happy about it. The annual festival slowly fades out of relevance, and before long is cancelled completely. You don't really know what to do with your life after all of that. Oh well, that's depressing. The Yawhg traumatized you. Oh, fucking hell. Despite everything being okay now, something in you snapped. Maybe it was witnessing a baby floating face down in the water. Maybe it was when you found a man skewered on a fence, still squirming slightly, his eyes an empty void. Perhaps it was when you saw a group of kids that were trapped in the school, had resorted to eating their teacher's rotting corpse. Whatever it was, you can't help but drink. You drink so much you're not entirely sure what is real and what's an illusion. One day you look into a mirror and your eyes are empty, hollow. Yeah, I forgot to mention this game gets dark quite quickly. Oh, I really love that song, like I've already said so many times. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know and I will do more endings, because I'd be happy to. It's up to you. On other games, Hatsport Boyfriend's gonna take me a while because I'm gonna have to record it in segments. And Cook Stuff Delicious, I'm working on getting up to 1 star, and that should be fairly soon. Either way, I hope to see you next time. Bye.